Take a nice deep breath. Breathe into your heart and out of your mind. Woohoo! Great. How you doing? It's really nice to be with you. I feel so grateful to have this opportunity because I love to share what I have found in my research and realized, and the intention that it's empowering to you and enriching to you in every way, now and eternally. Absolutely. So breathe into your heart. Now, my topic, knowing the truth that always is. And that's going to be that's not the topic. Here's the topic. Okay. The secret of spiritual healing. That's what I wanted to say. And the knowing of the absolute truth is then that secret of spiritual healing. So for Michael on the video, he could label this the secret of spiritual healing. And I was trained as a spiritual mind healer, as a practitioner. And I went through this course. And we call it a training, but it's actually a teaching. And this was by Ernest Holmes in his research as he researched various religions and philosophies and such, looking for the common threads that would help him for himself to know about who he is in life and how to have a grand and glorious eternal existence. Okay, so he presented this and these ideas, and one of them was he did in his research is found out how the spiritual mind healing operates. Christian Science people use this infinite way. I believe they call it the infinite way. It's Joel Goldsmith and his wonderful teaching. So spiritual mind healing has helped me so much because in the sense of knowing the truth that always is, that never changes, and there is absolute truth. And there some will teach that there's no absolute truth, and that is to completely depower you, because if there's no absolute truth, then you really do not exist. You're basically a mind program, a walking virus. You are a virus in a human body appearing as a divine being, but really a simulation of some kind, a lie, a falsity, okay? Now, in the spiritual mind healing, so when I was living in India, and studying, then the person that I was my partner at the time, anyway, he got possessed by a ghost of some kind. I mean, this is a wild story. I would never believe this if I hadn't been right there. But anyway, so as this took place and I watched this, what happened to him, I was Jesus, Mother and Mary, help me. Okay, so I called out, however that was. I was never afraid after that. But anyway, I stood always in the truth of knowing the truth. I never accepted the verdict. I had to go through a lot to help this person become free of this possession that took over. And it was, well, from he was susceptible, whatever. But I look at all the different situations I've had in my life. My leg was bitten by a brown recluse spider, and it was huge. And I went to this emergency in Atlanta, and they said, "Oh, you're going to have to have your leg amputated, and you'll probably be dead in a couple of weeks, and you better just check in the hospital." I left, and I went and I did my own work, and within a week, 7 days, I was completely healed. It's like when you're centered in the truth that always is, you aren't really even asking for anything. You don't need to ask for anything because God, the divine grace, is sufficient unto thee. That's not just a quote to repeat or sense, but and I don't mean of a false creator of a material realm, a false God. I'm talking about our source, our partner, not of, they say, the physical body, but who we are, that we're not a creation. We are an eternal being, and that's the good and the bad news, because bad news is that you cannot get rid of yourself. You are eternal. You always exist. You are existence itself. You are life. Life is who you are. And you anoint others and give life to others because you say it's true. You say it's real. And because you say it is, and then you believe it's real, you act as if it is, and you make it real when it is an illusion, you see, because the first illusion is that all you are is this meat stick, this vehicle, and it is the temple of the living God. So it's not to disrespect, but it is to realize, to know who you are and know the truth that always is. So when I counsel with people, and I have such great results, it's not because of me, but because I'm a facilitator, and I know how this works, how this operates, and who we are. And you can't really describe how the grace operates, and how the mystic operates, and how the what we would call the miracles of just being operates. And it's not about a program in miracles. And I don't even like the word miracle, because that means, in a sense, out of the ordinary, when it's actually the natural state of being, where we get our objections out of the way. We drop the veils of ignorance. And the problem with the veils of ignorance is because when you believe you are this physical body, and this is all that you are, and this is the only reality, and the whole program itself, then as you believe that, that's always a program running underneath, and you're always in stress and fear, and it's not just of death, of how it's going to happen, and how it's torture, and okay. So it goes, because it's all to scare you, because look who's scaring you, it's the mind. And you start watching it. You watch it. Watch it. Now, see, you can't get out of it. Just don't be in it. Okay. So that secret of spiritual healing isn't anything, is where you don't lose your state of your unity with God, with the divine, your remembering who you are. And you are then fixed in that your beingness. You're very solid in it, because it's who you are. And the more we can do that, the better off, because then what wants to happen can happen through you, and you get the joy of it happening through you, but don't take the credit. Because in the taking of the credit, you want to glorify yourself, and, self-aggrandizement. And that kind of pride always leads to the fall, because you're separating yourself from the source and your partner and your beloved. So here's the key then, the secret to spiritual mind healing is, and as you study this work, and Joel Goldsmith has a really, really good book on this mysticism and spiritual healing. My book, Live Your Bliss, is going to give you those basic, teachings of how this place operates, and how bliss is your natural state of being without thinking. And that's where your power is. And when you bring your power back into who you are, and you stay centered in that, people just thinking of you, or they focus on you, have a healing in their lives, because they have joined themselves with your consciousness, but you do not join yours with theirs. Do you get that? Yes, you never join your consciousness with theirs. You don't have a mind melt. You don't need a mind melt, you see. And the mind is the mind of how you've been mined for your energy as a human divine resource, you see, that is resourcing the reality that is not ours. So we take our power back by knowing who we are, you see, and being in that constant state of the spiritual mind healer, that practitioner who knows the truth and stands firm in it. And as you do, that which wants to happen naturally, the divine, the magnificent, the glorious, naturally takes place. And you get to witness it. Yes.